Today, we are going to talk about a Michael Jordan rookie card that might involve some market manipulation, it might involve some card tampering, or even a fake card altogether inside of a fake PSA slab. This one is fairly interesting, and it does come from a subscriber who sort of reached out to me and said, Daniel, I bought this card, I had to back out from eBay for these reasons because the card looks suspicious. Look at all these other information I found. And like I said, it does involve some signs of market manipulation and people trying to set floors and all that kind of thing. There's some other interesting elements here too when it comes to potentially altering or faking of the card itself and the PSA slab. So I'm going to get to all those things in a sec. This is one of those videos that many people will say is negative, but the general consensus of me talking about this is that it's a reminder once again of the due diligence that we need to be doing as collectors in this day and age, because people are becoming more and more elaborate with what it is they're trying to do when it comes to manipulating people or ripping people off. This is not meant to scare you away. This is meant to purely, be insightful and give you guys some insights as to what is actually happening so you can basically be aware of what the heck is going on. But like I said, I had a subscriber reach out and said, Daniel, basically, I bought this card on eBay. I think there's something strange going on. I've done a bit of digging, and I think some market manipulation has also occurred with the seller with this card. Let's try and talk to it. Now, this is the Michael Jordan card in question. It is an 84 star card, so basically EMPS, the 1986 Fleer rookie card of Michael Jordan. It's not considered the true rookie card by the hobby, but it's still technically one of the first printed Michael Jordan rookie cards before the 86 Fleer. Now, this person basically bought this off eBay, and you can sort of see it over here. This is the eBay listing, as you can see. Apologies to do a quick cut there. And I can't recall this is the actual listing that they purchased the card for and then reneged on the deal, but basically they won the card and then a few things popped off that made them start questioning what the heck was going on. They ended up getting eBay to side with them to cancel the transaction. And the thing that sort of piqued their interest amongst, a few other things was a marking on the back of the card that's showing up in this version, but not showing up on the PSA scan. And if I click on the back, you can sort of see over here that dash there, neither one of one doesn't look like it's filled like the other ones are, right? And if we look at this on, a more zoomed in version, you can sort of see here that it looks like the dash itself is faded. It looks like, something is missing from the card and printing error or something along those lines. What was interesting, and the reason why this person decided to work with eBay to cancel the transaction, was if you go back to the eBay certification page, or the PSA certification page, I should say, you'll see that the line is actually filled. And if we go to the more zoomed in version, again, the line is filled. There's a weird mark there that looks like it's on the outside of the PSA case, but if you go back to, again, the eBay screenshot or the image from where the person bought it, that line is pretty clearly looking very different to what's there on the PSA website from when they scanned it. So it's a bit odd. And this person obviously saw that and thought, well, okay, maybe this card's been tampered. Did somebody take it out of the slab and replace the card once it was graded by PSA? Is this in fact the same card? There are some other markings on there, like this portion over here near the collegiate wording, that looks like it's in the same spot. I don't know if that's consistent on all-star cards. There's a few other things like the marking over here near the NBA players logo. If you go back to the PSA scan, again, there is the marking over there. Give me one sec. In the same sort of spot, coming up there like an S near the E in basketball, and then again in the same location. So it's a weird one. This person saw this line in particular. Could that be marking over the slab, and it just looks like the line is missing? Who knows? But it was enough for them to raise questions. And then when they did a bit more research before they went ahead and asked for the sale to be cancelled with eBay, was they searched for this certification number on Twitter, and they came up to a few interesting things, including this really long thread from M&T Trading. And this is sort of where the market manipulation piece comes into it, because what this thread goes on to talk about is that you've had these star rookie cards, multitude of them, including this one PSA 7 multiple times amongst some of these other star rookies, basically get listed multiple times, bought by these private accounts, and they just keep getting relisted. And these, sales on eBay are eventually making their way, into things like Card Ladder. And it was basically coming to the opinion of a lot of people in this thread that this was being done to set a floor price, basically manipulate the price of these Jordans to show that people are actually out there buying them, when in reality, it looks like it's a handful of people selling them between each other. And what this thread also goes on to sort of highlight is that, these cards are being sold via various handles, but they're all vaulted with eBay, so there are no fees involved, which means you can sort of actively move them between people and you're not actually losing money. When you do shield bidding and all that kind of thing, technically you still have to pay the eBay fees if you are paying for it to try and get the transaction verified, right? But in this case, these things are moving around. There's only, vault fees. So there's no real selling fee. So it's sort of one of those things that people can sort of do to take the piss with and set these floors. Now, eventually through what M&T Trading flagged, they got in touch with the likes of the guys from Card Ladder, and that's explained in one of these threads eventually. And I think it's this one over here. And they talked about the fact that all these cards that were sold via these various accounts have now been removed from Card Ladder. So you can be rest assured that these things aren't in there anymore. These fake sales aren't in there anymore. Not to say that there's other ones not in there, as we've talked about before when it comes to Card Ladder. But it's just a very interesting one. So you've got this situation, like I said, I'm rambling, but you've got this situation where you've had this person look at this card on eBay. It's in the same PSA slab. It looks like it's the same card, but it does in fact look like there's some weird stuff happening where there's inconsistencies between how the card is imaged between PSA and eBay. Could that just be lighting? Potentially. Could there be something on the lens of the camera or the scanner? Sure. But that factored in with what looks very much like a group of individuals trying to manipulate the market and set floor prices. Does that mean this card was altered in some capacity? Could this possibly be a fake PSA slab altogether? Could somebody have essentially gone ahead and scanned, the cards from PSA, and that's why the other dots around here line up and the dot over here lines up and everything else looks the same? But could that just be a printing defect when the person's gone ahead and printed it themselves? That's, entirely possible in my opinion. Yes, that takes a lot more sophistication to try and fake, especially when it comes to PSA flips and all that kind of stuff. But it's one of those things, right, that's happened before in this hobby. And if you've got people sort of in a position willing to manipulate prices and try and set fake floors so they can rip people off, it's not that far-fetched to also assume that somebody would be doing something dodgy. Now, again, this doesn't necessarily have to be a fake PSA slab for this to be a fake card. They could have bought the genuine one from PSA, cracked it open, put back in the slab without damaging it, as again we've seen before, use the original PSA slip, which is obviously a good thing to be doing because this stuff is hard to fake with all the work that PSA does in their modern labels. And bang, you've got a genuine star rookie you can sell raw or get regraded with PSA, and now you've got a fake one in this slab that you can go ahead and sell for top dollar, as you can sort of see over here. $75,000 USD or best offer. And if I remember correctly, it's sold for around 20 to 25K USD. If I quickly click on the 130 point post, this is the one in question. There you go, $23,500 USD. So it's just one of those things. We've talked to these kinds of scams before. I've talked to it countless times where you've got people, going ahead and faking things and cracking open, genuine slabs and replacing them with an inferior card. We've seen that happen so many freaking times over the last 3 years. So is that sort of what happened here? I'll let you guys be the judge of it, but just the fact that you've got this person sort of looking at the card, there's a bit of inconsistency on there. And this subscriber did also tell me that there was a few others. They didn't go into the detail of what they were, but they said there were a few others that concerned them. To then sort of see that, go to Twitter and see those threads of this card showing up multiple times and then being confirmed to have been, sold between, friends or between private bidders to try and set fake pricing. Is that far-fetched? I don't think it is, and I want you guys to help me understand down in the comments below. It's why I don't like this whole comp mindset, this whole comp mentality. It's really difficult. It's just a constant reminder again, if we go back to those M&T Trading Twitter posts, these things were being sold with private bids on them. Don't bid on those things if you ever see them. You click on the auction listing, you can sort of see if the seller has decided to hide the bidders. If they're doing that, ignore it. Because that means that there's some kind of shill bidding or hanky-panky going on in the background. There are so many things these days of people trying to rip you off, and it's a really disappointing thing. And again, I go back to the opening of my video. Me talking about this, me going on this ridiculous rant that probably is not making any sense, is not meant to scare you. It's not meant to make you think the hobby's shit or anything like that. Clearly, you can see all these cards behind me. The hobby is not shit. I've got stacks of, flawless cards here in front of me that I'm getting ready to grade. Clearly, I like the hobby. Clearly, I enjoy it. Clearly, I don't hate it. The camera's blurry now, so I do apologize. The reason why I'm talking about it is because this stuff needs to be kept front of mind, and we need to sort of be remembering what it is we're in this hobby for, and that is to have fun, and that is to help each other out, and that's what I'm trying to do with these videos. So, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. The blurriness of this camera is not going away. I do apologize. I'm just trying to help. So if you have anything you want to share, please do it down in the comments below. I'm repeating myself now. Let me know what you think about this card. Let me know if you think it was fake. If you can see anything else on the card that I've missed that confirms that it's actually fake or printed at home, or give some explanation as to why that dash looks different between when it was graded in the PSA scans and in the eBay listing, because I'm a bit stumped. To me, it looks like someone's market manipulated and they've put fake cards in a genuine slab. That's my gut feeling, but maybe I'm off base on that. So, you know, it is what it is. Please share your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.